The galaxy had once been a peaceful place, filled with diverse civilizations working together in harmony. But that was before the invasion. An alliance of powerful alien species, known as the Zorath, descended upon the peaceful worlds with unparalleled brutality. With their advanced technology, they ravaged planet after planet, leaving nothing but ruins in their wake. Their overwhelming forces crushed the mightiest empires, reducing them to ash, and then they came for Earth. Humanity, for all its perceived weakness, had always been underestimated by the galaxy's other races. The Zorath believed they could simply sweep aside this insignificant species, but they were wrong. The fight for Earth would be the turning point in a war that the aliens never expected. On the eve of the final battle, the situation was grim. The last of the human fleets had assembled near the orbit of Mars. There were only a handful of warships left, their hulls battered, and their weapons barely functional. The Zorath Armada loomed in the distance, a seat of death, their monstrous warships bristling with firepower. Victory was almost within their grasp, and the humans were cornered. There was no hope, or so it seemed. The human leaders gathered in the war room aboard the final remaining flagship. The ardent Phoenix stared out at the stars. Commander Elise Monroe, the last surviving high-ranking officer, clenched her fists around the map of the solar system, her gaze hardened. "Are we really going to let them do this?" she muttered, her voice hoarse from days of constant briefing. General Marcus Lawson, a grizzled veteran, stood beside her, his uniform stained with blood and grime. He was no stranger to defeat, but this was different. This was humanity's last stand. They think we're finished, that this is the end. Lawson's voice was steady, but beneath it was a flicker of something far stronger, a burning resolve. "But they don't understand us, Monroe. They've never understood us. Humanity's greatest strength is in our will to fight. No matter how many times we fall, we'd survived the impossible before. We'll do it again." Monroe turned, her eyes fierce. "Then let's show them who they're dealing with." The Zorath fleet unleashed a devastating barrage, their weapons tearing through the atmosphere of Mars. The humans had one final chance, but it was slim. They had no reinforcements, no superweapons, and no miracles left. What they did have, however, was a deep-seated belief that they would never surrender. On the surface of Earth, the last remnants of human civilization gathered in secret underground bunkers, while the world above was shattered by the relentless bombardment. But in the heart of the human spirit, something stirred. People from all walks of life knew that the time had come to take the final step. They would not bend, not to any invader, no matter their power or numbers. The fire of resistance burned brighter than ever. "To the front lines," cried Lieutenant Sarah Calloway as she rallied her soldiers. "We are not just fighting for our homes. We are fighting for every human who has ever lived, for every human yet to be born. Our ancestors faced extinction before. They survived. And now it's our turn." The humans, armed with what little they had left, surged forward. They had no illusions about the odds, but their hearts were full of something the Zorath had never encountered: hope. It was the one thing that could not be measured, calculated, or destroyed. The Zorath, in all their arrogance, had overlooked this. As the human resistance rose from the ashes, a crackling transmission interrupted the airwaves. "This is Captain Alia Core of the Victory's Flame. We are coming in hot, Commander Monroe. We've managed to gather what's left of the fleet. It's not much, but we're with you. Let's finish this." Monroe's eyes widened with disbelief, but then a slow smile crept onto her face. "They're still coming. They're still fighting." She turned to Lawson, and together they shared a moment of silent understanding. "All ships, prepare for combat," Monroe ordered, her voice now full of unshakable determination. "Today we show them why humanity will never be defeated." The human fleet surged forward, their remaining ships braving the oncoming onslaught. For every blast that tore through their hulls, for every fallen soldier, another would rise. The Zorath might have had the numbers and the technology, but they could never replicate the fierce, unrelenting drive that powered the human spirit. In the midst of the chaos, a strange event occurred. As the human ships clashed with the Zorath forces, the enemy began to falter. It wasn't a tactical failure, nor was it a weakness in their technology. No, it was something else. A moment of hesitation, an unexpected realization that the humans were not acting out of fear or desperation. They were fighting for something deeper than survival. The Zorath had assumed that the humans would break under pressure, that they would bend to the will of superior forces. But in that moment, it became clear that humanity was the force that could not be broken. The humans pushed forward, pushing back the invaders with sheer tenacity. The tide of battle began to turn. One by one, the Zorath warships began to retreat, their arrogance shattered. The human fleet pressed on relentless, knowing they had only one choice: to win. By the end of the battle, the Zorath were in full retreat, their massive fleet scattered and broken. The remaining humans stood on the battlefield, bloodied and bruised but unbowed. Commander Monroe, standing amidst the wreckage, looked to the stars. All hope was lost, she said softly, but we held the line. Humanity will never surrender. We'll fight until the end, and even then, we'll rise again.